insanity in the last moments of that fight. And the Vancouver Titans take what was promised to them. It's been an incredible stage thus far, but there's more to come.
Takes some help with his signature McCree. And sleep dart, he didn't even hit the ground. Jinmu beats. Good night, he puts them in the grave. Only one, no, there's 2 and 3. It's a brutal beatdown, and he's got another one. AKM is back.
Justice reigns from above.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Overwatch League 2019 season. I'm Achilles, joined by Wolf, and we are going to jump straight into the action. We are kicking things off for Stage 2 with the match of the week. Philly Fusion getting ready to go up against the New York Excelsior. Long-time rivalry for these guys ever since Al started last season.
That's right, and we've got a lot of changes coming into Stage 2 as well. We've got a new hero, we've got a new patch, so it's going to be a little bit different than where we came from, right? When we take a look at Stage 1, this is where we stand right now. Remember, the playoffs we just watched with Titans taking that first stage doesn't affect standings. This is the list of map wins and losses that's going to affect the final season playoffs much later on. So this is where we kind of have to not only remember where we came from in the stage playoffs, but also remember where the team stood at the end, because teams like Defiant, third place, didn't make it that far in the playoffs, but they're still very, very high up.
We'll have to see how people are going to make it, how far they can go in Stage 2, because we do have some changes coming through. New hero coming in. Batiste will be taken to the stage maybe today. Maybe we'll finally get to see him. But we also have the new map, Paris, going to be debuting in a different order. Moving Control, Assault, Hybrid, then Escort. So just flipping around maps 2 and 3 in their order.
Yeah, Batiste, very much a hero that has been highly anticipated. He's a support hero. He outputs AoE healing, but he also can create an immortality field, making himself, and his allies around him unable to be killed unless that's destroyed. It can also be hacked, so you could do a lot of really cool stuff with this hero that also has high mobility with his exo jump, where he could get into high locations and he does fire a gun that shoots at range. Unlike most supports, he can actually do damage at a high range. And also, because of this mobility, there's going to be a lot of places he can get to that other supports, basically besides Lucio, couldn't get to. So high mobility, high healing output. Here's the immortality field at work. You can see these heroes don't die to the self-destruct because they get just down to 40 HP.
Yep, reduces them low, but we're going to have to see what the best of the best can do with this hero. We're ready to go. No matter where you're watching from, whether it's Twitch, whether it's Disney XD, we're ready to jump into the action for the first match of Stage 2. So let's go ahead and bring in our first team. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Philadelphia Fusion.
They made the playoffs for Stage 1. And they made the first finals in Overwatch League history. They are, in a lot of ways, the kryptonite to their opponents tonight in New York Excelsior. And they're looking to bounce back tonight after a fairly disappointing playoff run. It's a tough opponent, but if they can take out New York once again, I think it says a lot about how much this team can bounce back from adversity they faced just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, rough start to the season as well. Did not have their primary support in Boombox, but now he's been in the results. It's been an upward trajectory for these guys overall. We'll see how they can kick things off in Stage 2, whether or not it's going to be a victory. But like you said, their opponents, it's a very tough one. They are the juggernauts of the Overwatch League. Fell short against Seoul Dynasty in the playoffs there in Stage 1. Let's see if they can kick things off with a win as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the New York Excelsior.
Every analyst predicted this team to take the Stage 1 finals, and no one really thought they would be upset by a team like Seoul. They lost in that massive upset. Seoul came in, really good Sombra play, and it's hard to keep your emotions in check when you're winning non-stop in regular season. Then you hit this snag in playoffs. Can they bounce back tonight, or this afternoon, I should say? We're not quite nighttime.
We're getting into the evening.
But, can they bounce back here against Philadelphia, who has always had their number, has always been a kryptonite for them. They beat them in the season playoffs to go to the grand finals. Everyone thought New York would go to that finals. Everyone thought New York would go to the Stage 1 finals here for 2019, but both things were stopped short.
I mean, New York thought they were going to that finals. They planned fan meets and all sorts of stuff in New York City, but they didn't really get to go to the stage. But They're going to get back on that path as best as humanly possible. Take a look here. The finishing moment is Dynasty were able to get the upset victory over the NYXL in their first ever playoff appearance as well. It was just an absolutely stellar start to the season for Seoul Dynasty. We're going to get to see them a little bit later on and see how they are going to be faring coming in with the potential changes, the slight adjustments we would expect to the meta with Batiste coming through. But NYXL certainly going to be thirsty for that victory to try to take down Philly Fusion.
Yeah, this is very much a series I think that will hurt more if you lose it as New York here too. After that loss in the playoffs, and you know you're the favorites going into this match as well. You know you're facing off against this opponent that has such a history of beating you. You know, despite the fact that your record is often higher than Philadelphia's here. So for New York, I think it's time to win this series, win it convincingly, bring that momentum back as we head into a new stage. We talk about the new meta. There hasn't been a ton of time for both of these teams to adapt to Batiste because they both did play in the playoffs. We're going to take a look at our maps here presented by Toyota.
And see exactly where we're headed here for this first series. So gonna kick things off on Lijiang Tower. Then we will have the debut of Paris on the Overwatch League stage. Is our second map. Again, Assault flipping into that second slot. Then we'll move into Hybrid. And then we'll close things out with Escort unless we can make it to that fifth and final map. And honestly, it's our match of the week. It's the start of the stage. I'd be more than happy to jump straight into a 5-map series here at the beginning. But for now, we'll be at Lijiang Tower.
That's right. Control map, you got to get 100% of that meter in order to take the first round of 3. There'll be 3 rounds here, best of 3 on this first map. Libero to start things out with the Batiste here, it seems, but no, he's tricking us.
Okay, gonna be flipping back over to that one, but Fusion
However,
on the other side, we'll be having the Wrecking Ball. They're gonna have EQO on the far, and Nene for NYXL over onto the Roadhog. So some adjustments coming through as we kick things off on Night Market. Already in onto the point is the NYXL. As right clicks coming through, gets the hook, EQO pulled in, taken down. Mono says, thank you for first blood.
You never really expect the Roadhog to hook the Pharah of all heroes, but he finds the location, knows she's low on fuel, doesn't really have an escape angle there, waits, saves his cooldown, and snags it. We are going to see the Fusion swap composition back to what we call traditional 3-3 with Reinhardt, Zarya. But New York have what we like to call a pick-based composition right now. You're looking to get a single kill with the Roadhog hook or with a Reinhardt charge, and that way the opponent team is just going to have to completely reset. And you're building meter at that whole time.
Yeah, have to see how these guys are going to fare, though. NYXL going to be Zarya-less, so do not have that Graviton Surge potential as we move deeper into the fights. EQ already going to get hooked into the back, but Libero comes up with the kill instead. Decent start for NYXL as they look to maintain control, and now with the supports getting ready to go down, seems like they will go ahead, hold on to this one. Bubble's going to block that hook, but they're just going to go ahead and delay kill Carpe, get that nice stagger rolling through 30% plus over to NYXL.
This is really nice for the NYXL because they're just building control meter. I think there's a really high chance that when this does get taken away from them, we'll see Nene swap back over to Zarya. And in fact, he's just going to go ahead and do it right now. The whole hog is pretty insignificant in this meta, so you don't really need it. They've actually gotten such an advantage that they're always going to be ahead in ults now, even if Philadelphia flips with this next push.
Pushing their way through, taking a bit of damage, staying behind that Reinhardt shield. Try to stay safe. Mono's going to be going forward. Gets that nice nano boost through, and he'll get him a double kill onto both of the supports for the Philadelphia Fusion. That's all she wrote for this approach. Reset and try it again.
They didn't have a Graviton Surge yet, and that's a big problem. Philadelphia Fusion lost those last 2 fights before this one so handedly that Carpe wasn't able to build enough charge, not to mention that they weren't starting with a 3-3 comp, so he lost even that ult charge timing. So when this flip comes through for Fusion, it will happen very likely because Nene's behind an ult charge at the moment. It's going to be 99, so all of the New York will have to do next is build that ult and go for a final push. They need to be efficient with this take.
He's got it online. Sleep Dart's going to be coming through. Sato hitting the ground. The bomb coming in. Carpe going to be taken down. I think they popped the bubble in time to get the explosion to come through. They find the pick. Now Sato eliminated. It's 90%. The kill's still coming in. Philadelphia Fusion, they might not be getting that flip that you're talking about. They might not be able to use any of these ultimates.
They didn't get to look for the engage they wanted. Poco's just staying here to try to get the tag.
Tries to zip his way back on. Will make it back in onto the ground, but yeah, cannot force out the OT. So already a stunning start to this series for NY.
Yeah, this is a situation where New York Excelsior is understanding how to get kills before the fights that Fusion wants can happen, right? Before the Zarya ult is complete for Carpe, they stick with the Roadhog, they get those hooks, they get those single kills, so then it suddenly becomes a 6v5 fight that Fusion can't realistically win. Then, when the ult is ready, they take a fight off the point, They don't allow Carpe to get the grab he wants. And in that moment for Poco, it wasn't a mistake. He was hiding, hoping that he could tag the point so his team could get back before that 100%, which gives the round to New York. We will see mirror compositions here, it looks like. Although, as I say that, Sato is going to be on the Winston. This is what most analysts are predicting the new meta will look like. It's the same as 3-3 before, but with Winston instead of Reinhardt.
Yeah, up onto the high ground for now to start. Fire strike to the face onto Poco. Gives Mono just a little bit of charge towards that Earth Shatter. Sato going to be dropping back down. Joins back up top. D.Va going to be cut down to about half. Needs to get an Orb of Harmony out from Boombox. There we go. So we'll be ticking back up. So just trying to control this high ground, be able to jump down, harass the members of NYXL, then go back up to the top for the escape. Point going to be unlocked. NYXL starting to inch their way through. Sato goes into the back, snapping away, looking to get some hits there on a Jonak, but he's got so much protection. Libero stuns him up, Mace to the face takes him down. And already, things start slipping through the fingers of the Philadelphia Fusion members as they try to maintain control. Carpe send up dangerously low, but they manage to find Mono. QO gets that shield bash through. They find the Rhine. Now it's going to be the Transcendence in from Boombox to keep everybody topped up. Jonak going to be matching on the other side. Nobody else going to be suffering losses yet. Both Transcendences expiring. The point still not being locked down. Meko trying to escape with that suit intact. Will be able to do so for now. Skirts around the corner. Stays safe. Point goes the way of NYXL, and Sato goes down at the end.
The biggest win here for NYXL was getting the kill onto Carpe. Not only did that mean that there was not enough damage output despite Boombox's trance to try to match Nene, because Carpe didn't have energy and he was returning from spawn, but it also means that Carpe returns now with half the grab that Nene now holds. His ult charge matches Jonak's, which means Jonak has the responding healing for when Carpe does decide to finally, or when he does finally get that ultimate, decides to use it.
Razzit ready to roll. Rally's going to be coming through. Grab online. Nene throws that one down. Catches everyone. EQO going to be the first one to fall. Primal Rage is in the back from Sato as he tries to find some kills, but Neptuno now going to be another casualty, unable to use that sound barrier. And Philadelphia Fusion looking out of sorts, struggling in every twist and turn here.
You know, that's the fight you expect to lose. You know you don't have Transcendence for Boombox. You know Nene has the grab further than Carpe, but Sato used Primal Rage there. That was a bit of an overextension. He is going to stop over to this Reinhardt. They need the Batiste here. It's going to be the first Batiste of Overwatch League here. They need it because they need that Immortality Field to out-sustain in this team fight. There's no real good way for New York to delete that Immortality Field either here with no range damage.
All right, well, jumping his way up. That's going to be the shift coming through, keeping everybody around him. Healed up, and the Shatter comes in. It's just so many members on the side of Philadelphia Fusion as they try to stay alive. Bomb comes out. Not going to find any kills directly, but already 2 members gone. The Invuln Field invested in Philly Fusion having to retreat again. 75% here for NYXL. They might just be able to take Lijiang with a 2-0.
The Batiste was a gamble, and the Shatter shut everything down. The Immortality Field will keep you at 40 health no matter what, as long as it's alive, but it's not going to prevent your entire team from getting stunned, as we saw. New York holds the support ultimates they need to outlast this fight against Carpe's grab. A pick is what Philadelphia needs, and they need it badly.
But keep in mind, this is Carpe finally getting this one ready to roll. It's been such a really rough road for him on this Zarya so far. Get a lot of damage through onto Libero, but he'll get top back up. They're in onto the point. The grab comes down. It's going to whip Carpe. He doesn't find anyone. That could cost him dearly. Poco drops in the bomb, but it's not going to find anything now. The responding grab comes in from Nene. He'll get taken down, but the Invuln Field's been eliminated. Neptuno is taken out of the fight. Namo using the sound barrier stacks it in with the Transcendence just for good measure. The flip came through for Philly Fusion. They're at 10%, but there's no one really to try to hold this one out. They're trying desperately as EQO keeps spamming out these right clicks to keep everyone topped up. The flip nearly comes in back in NYXL's favor. They get the pop out onto Meko's suit. He'll be taken out of that now in the Baby D.Va form, and actually the retreat will come through, so they do manage to hold this out, but at massive cost for the Philly Fusion.
Yeah, the Immortality Field came in late, but the extra healing that EQO can provide here is what wins it out for them. The trade-off here is the Brigitte, so you're losing the stun, you're losing the burst heal, but you're gaining so much more long-term healing. Brigitte has to hit heroes to actually do that AoE healing. It's not the same output that someone like a Batiste can do, so ends up working for them in the end because EQO does survive here. Nene doesn't have a grab. There is a world in which Philadelphia can bring this to a 3rd round.
Grab does come through, this time from Carpe, it's gonna land. Transcendence is out from Jonak. Shatter coming through from Sato, not gonna be able to lock anybody up. Meko throws a bomb in the back, manages to find a pick up, but it's only gonna be onto that Invuln Field. So without that tool for a moment is the Philly Fusion. Shields expiring from Neptuno's sound barrier, and Sato gonna be taken down on the side, and suddenly they are way out of position. Carpe hounded down and eliminated, now looking for EQO. They'll be able to find him, and this should be the flip coming back through. Philly Fusion, can they force an OT again?
Looks like Neptuno wants to try. with Poco here, but it's a futile attempt.
He tags his way in, instantly going to be taken out, has the bomb. Baby D.Va, however, not going to last very long. Meko comes up with that kill. Transcendence is in from Moonbox onto the point. They have the Wrecking Ball here from Sato, swinging away like a madman, just trying to knock him off the point. Shatter comes down, not going to find anything. We'll finally see the amp field coming through from EQO. Graviton Surge is going to be locking up the Wrecking Ball by himself. They eliminate him, the Involved Field not in position to keep him alive, and now Neptuno will get picked off. The OT is going to start plummeting, and NYXL, they will take Lijiang Tower with a 2-0.
This is not what everyone wants to see. This is not what everyone wants to hear, but this showcases using what you know you're good at versus someone trying to do something, break the meta, change the meta here in the Batiste we saw from EQL. It was a risk, and it did not pay off.
Well, that's Control in the books. Let's see what happens when we come back for Assault.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Iconic Lizard there. We'll go ahead and take a nice proper look at Ichiro, the man. Debuting Batiste on stage, but unfortunately for the Philadelphia Fusion, not resulting in a victory, nor even a round win on Lijiang Tower. They do suffer a 0-2 loss there to NYXL.
You could see the difficulty in a chaotic team fight with placing the immortality field in such a way where your team actually gets value out of it, because it will prevent deaths, but that's it. It's not going to block CC. It's not going to prevent someone from getting knocked out of it by a Reinhardt charge, for example. So, you know, in that first fight where he came in with the surprise fashion with the Batiste, trying to catch them off guard and win that fight through that immortality, that's when Mono hit the big shatter, and, you know, there's just nothing you could do about that if you get caught.
Well, we've already had one debut. Let's go ahead and take a look at another. Paris, our newest map for Assault, going to be coming in from map number 2. We'll see if this is where Philly can even up the playing field, or if it's just going to be a very strong start and a match point for the side of NYXL.
It's a pretty historical moment for you and I as well, to not cast the old map order.
Yeah.
Because we didn't cast the inaugural season where the map order was different there as well. So we're going into Assault for the second time for the first time. Very exciting, very good change for the map, so you don't have those weird third games. But Paris is a map that, you know, it's an Assault map, so you need to capture A, then capture B. B, very wide open, very many entrance waypoints, I should say. It's not extremely wide open. There's so many different ways you can get into that second cap, so it's very difficult to defend.
Well, here we go. Philly Fusion going to be going for a Pharah Widow start on the defense. Sato on the Orisa, and Boombox off over onto that Roadhog. NYXL just getting a bit of a scouting report at the moment from Mono, who's on the Sombra, as they try to figure out where exactly they want to go with their composition. So still going to be sitting inside the cafe for now.
Yeah, you also need to identify, if you're going to try to match the Widow, where the Widow is, so that you can match sight lines. They're going to stick with the 3-3 composition, the Ana variation here. A lot of extra damage output to the Pharah that way at range.
Well, Rocket's going to be coming down from above. They get the sleep dart in on a Poco, as well as that heal deny from the biotic grenade, but they cannot pop him out. So we'll be safe to rejoin in with the rest of his squad and offer up a lot of ult charge to Neptuno. As bear in mind, he is the sole support at the moment. Everyone that's not Boombox has to rely on this Mercy alone to get some healing. The hook gonna be blocked out by Mono's shield, so unable to isolate somebody on the side of NYXL at the moment. Rocket's still coming down. Good ult charge being built up here from EQO.
The thing that what we're seeing from Carpe here is, oh, we're going to see some kills coming through right now.
Yep, that's the pick. Mono in a rough spot. Does get that bubble in time to not get further isolated. But the barrage going to be coming in. D-Matrix and the shield comes up. The fire strike comes in. And suddenly NYXL saying, you know what? Maybe we can still aggress forward. Maybe we don't have to peel back. Anamo going to get snatched up there by the hook, but they're unable to finish him. And he actually managed to get the sound barrier off in time. Carpe still going to be sniping from above, but now Sato going to be gone. Suddenly things start looking very rough for Philly Fusion on this defense. Meko popped out. That's about as good as it gets. A nice headshot on the Mono, but you need so much more than that if you're Carpe to try to turn this one around. Instead, he's going to be going for a nice little dip.
The point of this Widow composition with Carpe here, and you have the Roadhog as well with it, is to corral members of the Excelsior into a choke point where they're safe from Widow shots, then do the damage with the Pharah. We saw this until the Pharah got caught there in the end. The defense matrix usage was really good from Meko, minimizing the damage. And now we're going to see a swap over to what is very commonly known as the bunker composition, because it looks like you're set up in a bunker, right? You can see the shield here from Orisa. Very difficult to break this, especially the Roadhog CC there with the hook, and it's massive damage output for Carpe. Tough to break it. No Batiste on this, so no immortality field, but it's still going to be a challenge with this composition for New York to break through. They do have an ult lead. Yeah, they do have the ult lead.
Yeah, Nano about to be online. Jonik holding on to that. Rally is out first. Jonik taking a lot of damage because the armor pack tries to stay alive. Neptuno at the moment going to be contesting. The whole haul comes through from Boombox, just pushing them off the point as best as possible. Defense matrix from the Diva, trying to deny a lot of that one away. Graviton Surge going to be coming through. Carpe manages to find Mono, but now Sato going to be taking down the bomb. Going to be hitting, and Meko comes up with a triple kill. And that's just going to be it. Paris basically in the book for NYXL on their attack.
Very difficult to defend on B. And a really nice biotic grenade from Jonak is what seals the deal. Denied healing means just no way to sustain in that longer fight.
5:17 on the clock for NYXL. Let's see what Fusion can do when we come back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. NYXL, fairly dominant start here. The debut of Paris in the Overwatch League. 5 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock for them at the end of that attack.
Yeah, the B location on this assault map in particular is very difficult to defend. They tried that Bastion style that we know is very popular right now. So, I mean, they know how to deal with this. They've no doubt scrimmed against it. They've hit it on ranked play as well. As we will have San Francisco Shock versus Charge.
Something else for you guys. Watch it on Disney XD to look forward to. It's going to be on Sunday. But here we go on the attack. Philly Fusion. Going to be pushing out Carpe. Going to be on the Soldier 76.
Okay. Going to use this Helix Rockets to get higher jump here, and it's going to look for a different angle.
Not seeing anybody, though.
Yeah.
Good sightline play from NYXL, who's sticking to pretty much the same thing with Mono over onto the Winston. Sato's just gonna roll through, says, hey, look, the point's open. I'll just start capping this. How much can they get?
He's going to try to pull them back so Soldier can get value.
Exchange on the honors at the moment. Jonak and Boombox both gonna be taken down. 1 tick gain for free by Sato. So, NYXL playing this one very patiently, but now Nene, stuck in a corner, literally, will be taken down. EQO finding the shots, building up for that next barrage. Mono tagged in the back, dangerously low there on that Winston, needs some healing very rapidly. We'll be able to find it. Nene as well, gonna be swapping over onto the Soldier. Now the Tracer, thinking better of it.
Yeah, EQO has free reign over this zone right now. He has all choke points controlled. There's no way for New York to really tag back in. The Nene Tracer / Soldier swap was to get back on the point and contest.
Sato just trying to boop them off. Doesn't quite get the swing there. Pile driver in, Meko gonna be at half HP. He's gonna peel away from the point. They build it up to about 78% so far. Fusion just making sure that everybody is gonna be safe and in the fight. Again, Rockets coming through into the back, trying to get Meko out of that suit. EMP comes through, catches 3, Mono instantly dead. They'll get the pop out onto Meko. Only a double trade back. Only gonna be Boombox here so far on the Moira to offer up some healing, which Sato could desperately use. So spraying away the left click, trying to top him back up. That's gonna be the sleep start in. Yeah, Sato slept right off the point. Can they get the kill? The answer is gonna be yes. Sun through plus deny.
The sleep there onto Sato is actually basically he's in all intents and purposes he's eliminated, right? He can't actually participate in the fight, so they can ignore him, kill the rest of his team, and then collapse on him as he's waking up. Nice recovery here for New York Excelsior. Despite not having a good answer for the Pharah, they take the win on the ground. And that sleep dart's a huge part of that. Jonak showcasing he's a wider hero pool than just the Zen.
Well, they're taking their way up now, 87.5%. Sato going to be slept again, as you say. EQO, however, finds Jonak now. The barrage comes in. Manages to find Mono as well before the sound barrier hits from an ammo. It's going to be the tag visor up here onto the high ground, looking at the point. Meko just trying to lay as much as he can. Carpe as well, juking him out. Doesn't have the biofield up, but he'll get top back up. Helps find the kill there on the Baby Diva. That's going to be a decent little time bank here for the Philly Fusion, but 5:27 already 10 seconds above NYXL. So we'll have a lesser time bank by the time they can get the cap on a beat.
Yes, and the big question was going to be, would they switch compositions? The answer is yes, they'll keep Poco on the Sombra, because that's one way you can win this fight right away, as New York will have to swap as well. But because they had to swap, they lose all their ultimates, and this means the time bank, as you say, is definitely going to be better. This EMP could lead to an opening kill if there's a mistake on the side of New York, and that's how Philly wants to make it even time as close as they can.
Well, straight up into their faces. Poco going to be dumping in that EMP, catches 5 members, and Amo going to be the only one not quite caught up in it, but there's no kills to be found for the side of the Philly Fusion. They won't finish anybody off. Now Mono with the Primal Rage gets that one ready to roll, and he's just going to be juggling members where he can. EQO going to be taken down, jumping way into the back, trying to knock him back towards his squad. Result in a few more kills, some extra stagger here as the time bank starts dwindling away for Philly Fusion.
Mono may even swap heroes here potentially. Like, he used his primal, he did his job, he delayed the maximum that you're looking to do as Winston here. Got about a quarter of another ult charge here. Not required to run Winston on this point, a lot more mobility. But the keys here are, when you look at it, still, despite this, Boombox matches Jonak in ult charge, and he is going to swap to the Rhine. So matches him in ult charge, and Carpe is ahead. So this is not terrible for the Fusion. They are losing time, but if this was worse, if they had killed Boombox, if he was sitting at like 50%, we might be looking at a map win here for New York. So they are still in this. It's just, you have to look at that clock. You have to remember the time bank here for New York is already going to be 2 minutes better at best case for Philly.
Nene trying to catch Carpe as quickly as he can. Carpe now above 90%. It's going to be a bomb out from Meko, looking for a pick. Not going to find anything a little bit too deep. Not quite on top of the Fusion. Then coming through, Sato. Going to be able to stay alive, and Boombox actually comes up with a kill there on a Mono. Oh, Meko gets the eat on the Carpe's grab. He turns straight into his face. The Shatter hits as well, but it's not going to find anyone. Amo just trying to skirt around the outside of the point here to keep things contested. Already 2.5 ticks going to be given up. Matching sound barrier now out from NYXL, but Nene's still going to be burnt down. Neptuno managing to find that kill. Sato on the exchange. Answering Shatter coming through. Mono locking down the enemy Lucio, who should get killed off here right at the finish. So not going to be able to find a cap yet, it would seem, but they're trying to turn things around with the kills here on Amano and Libero. Can they get back onto the point and make this one work? They're desperately trying to.
Massive damage from Boombox, actually. He's about to have another Transcendence here.
Yeah, he gets the armor pack. Poco, however, still very low. Bombs coming out from both sides. Meko looking for the pick. Boombox can't quite get himself in that corner. It's not enough to obscure the blast. Will be taken down. They do hold on.
sometimes when you've got a bad hand, it's best not to go all in. And Philadelphia Fusion certainly committed a lot of ultimates there. So when Achilles shouted the grab was eaten, that means Carpe's Graviton Surge, the most important ult for the push, was absorbed by D.Va's defense matrix, and still they committed the rally. Still they committed the shatter there from Sato, and then tried to turn the fight after the fact. But now they have very few tools, you know, outside of the new grab they've built, and so much time was wasted.
Yeah, 2 minutes about to be on the clock for Philly Fusion. Boombox gets taken down, so can't advance without him. Certainly need that Zenyatta, but actually it's going to be NYXL really going on the offensive here. They saw how low Sato was, so they push forward out of the point. Now looking for that pin. Good boop over to the side. We'll deny that away, at least get rid of some extra stagger, but Philadelphia Fusion, he's looking really rough.
This is something that we saw a lot from Boston and Fusions in particular, leading the charge in terms of shot calling on assault maps, where you try to take the fight away from the point to force the Graviton Surge to be used away from the point where they can't actually capture during that team fight. If you do so, even if you lose the fight, Philadelphia still has to touch the point. There's still going to be so much delay because they have respawn advantage. And this is a genius move by New York. They don't use ultimates and still win the fight. And this might just be a hold here, Achilles.
It's certainly starting to look that way. Transcendence is up for both these Zenyatas. Shatter online for Mono. Sato nearly there. Now has it. Shields going lower and lower on both sides. Grab's going to be coming through. Locks him up here onto the globe. Going in for the pin. Not going to be able to find any kills. Transcendence keeping everybody else alive for the moment. But Sato still dangerously low. Stunned up. Taken down. No chance to use the Shatter. Mono will be in the exchange. But it's still going to be a 2-for-1 now. 3-for-1 special in favor of the NYXL. 50 seconds remaining. It's going to be one more push realistically for the Philly Fusion. Even then a finish likely in overtime. And then they would have to hold for 5 minutes and 17 seconds. A single tick on A just to force a draw.
I think the best shot for Philly here is to somehow find that money shatter, the one that catches everybody, and that's going to be much easier said than done here with Mono's positioning. They're not going to build a grab without the Transcends, but that means the Transcends is going to be gone, and then it can then counter grab. There's so many advantages New York has. This would be an insane finish if they're able to do it, and it would still be overtime, as you say.
Grabs up, and then they wait for it. Oh, just throws it right at their feet. The shatter out from Sato again, not going to catch anyone. Pin comes through. Meko gets a double kill with a bomb. Make it 3 as Poco gets knocked out. It's just an absolute slaughter here on the point. NYXL going to finish things off with a team wipe as they will move up 2-0 in the series.
Very convincing stuff here from New York. We were touting Philadelphia as being kind of their kryptonite, but not in this series, not at the beginning of stage 2. They're sticking with their 3-3. They were the kings of it leading into playoffs, and nothing has changed in the brief break since then.
Still looks very good, but ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We got halftime coming up in just a few.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
It's all NYXO so far in this one. They're looking pretty good, up 2-0 over the Philadelphia Fusion at the half. Welcome back, everybody. Malik here. We got Zoe and Bryn. It is halftime. Guys, right out the gate, it was so good, first of all. I want to say to see Lijiang Tower back in play in that control map. NYXL looking like they're backed up to their old way so far.
Yes, yeah, I mean, it was a point I hit on in the Watch Point pre-show that we did, but I said New York Excelsior, are they crumbling? This is going to be a big test for them in terms of how they're performing today. They seem to be back in their old form. They seem to be just in a dominant fashion, just rolling over their opponents. So, yeah, very impressive showing from New York Excelsior.
Yeah, they did what we always see from New York. They were defending those backlines, and that really showed when we looked at the statistics. Animo died in overall of once. Jonak didn't die a single time on Lijiang Tower, and then on the second map, he only cashed in 3 deaths. So overall, their support line remained unscratched, and Philly just couldn't get any picks.
Right, all right. Well, before we go any further, let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights. Let's go to Lijiang Tower. Right out the gate, we saw the same comps that we saw a lot in the last stage. Of course, we saw some Winston goes from Philadelphia. We saw the primary goes that we always see with Reinhardt from the NYXL. A little bit of a tease there sprinkled in with EQO switched over to him, but for the most part, nothing new.
Nothing new, really, and I think this is what we were expecting, teams to just kind of stick to what they knew. And I think what's becoming a reoccurring issue with Philadelphia Fusion, from what I've seen from map 1 and map 2, is that they're getting sort of trapped in trying to experiment a little bit too much with the changes.
Right.
And, you know, when they come out with these weird compositions and they come out with, you know, Baptiste, who we've just seen for the first time, just released in stage 2, they start to kind of like underperform, and if they stick to their fundamentals, like New York ended up doing, maybe they would have had a much better showing, but New York just seemed to have a game plan, and it would stick to what they did last stage, and it worked out in dividends for them.
Yeah, I think it also always comes down to when exactly you're doing those switches. I don't think that Baptiste was necessarily a bad switch, and the first immortality field he actually laid down was technically a good one. It was just unfortunately the timing for it and not the ideal one, because there was just so many ults ready on New York's side. And honestly, that field that's gone in a second.
Right,
New York just focused it down, and it really didn't prevent many people from dying there. However, I did like what we saw from a Fusion on the second map, that Pharah I actually really didn't dislike.
It's a good pick, honestly, as well. Yeah, like a lot of these damage dealing compositions, they've been buffed in this recent patches, so you can start to see, you know, the experimenting is coming out. But it comes back to the earlier point that I was making, where teams, I think, they're kind of like falling into the trap of trying to experiment too much. Maybe they've had success with it in the past, but when you go up against a team like New York, who have such polished fundamentals, realistically, they're not too phased by it, and they know how to rotate and play around it. Like this moment here, where, you know, Philly should have had a good opportunity, but it just comes to when in this mirror match, you can see here they're running the exact same heroes. New York are going to be coming out on top. This was their bread and butter at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah. Do you think it's possible that, you know, Philadelphia, they watched the game tape, they saw what Seoul Dynasty did and decided maybe we'll try to catch NYXL off guard, throw a little Baptiste in here. Maybe, you know, they're just trying to switch things up, because playing NYXL straight up has not boded well for anyone so far.
That's true. I mean, but that's the thing, right? Like, neither of these teams had tape on the other team. They did not know what to expect coming out of the gates. So there was a good chance that New York didn't know how to deal with it. And frankly, I don't think that Philly really committed to the comps they were running. Like, they were taking, like, different picks, but they weren't committed to a strat with it. So it just kind of looked like, well, we're just going to try this out. And as you said, New York is not really a team where you can try something out against. Like, that needs to be a bit more solid than that.
Yeah. All right, so, Bryn, you picked Philadelphia to win this match earlier. What do they need to do, man, to switch it up? I mean, right now, NYXL, they set the record for the fastest completion time on Paris so far.
Yeah, yes, they did, sure.
So, I mean...
it seems like they're, again, it comes down to New York Excelsior being very polished, great teamwork as a collective unit. Philadelphia Fusion seemed to be getting dismantled in that. There was a few minor mistakes, like EQ, I can remember distinctly on Paris. He got picked off early, made a bit of a mistake going in for an early barrage. Small little mistakes like that can just snowball out of control and cause you to lose a map. So comes down to, again, not trying to really take advantage of New York Excelsior in the way that you would a weaker team. New York Excelsior, you can't punish as easily. You need to sort of like give them a little bit more respect in terms of the way you play. Obviously not too much respect, otherwise they'll just be walking over you. But when it comes to it, it seems like they do have clear plans when it comes to these maps. But New York just seem to be on a different level in terms of just understanding, okay, we're not going to be phased by this, just going to power through it. And that's going to be the biggest issue. But I mean, we're going to a few different maps here. I want to see Philly again stick to their Winston triple tank, triple support. That's what they're strong at. That's what they excel at. And they seem to have very good results as well against, particularly strong teams when they're running that one composition. So it should be playing into their strengths coming into the second half. Still expecting it to be New York favored, not going to lie.
Right.
If I could flip my prediction, I think I would. But I think that they should have a solid chance. But I can't, yes.
Well, for your sake, I hope the Philadelphia Fusion, they actually show up here in the second half. But they got a tall mountain to climb. New York is up 2-0. Can the Fusion bring it back with a reverse sweep? We'll find out in just a bit.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Welcome to the stage, the Philadelphia Fusion. Their opponents, the NYXL.
This may be the rivalry that we all should be looking towards.
Carpe float like a butterfly, stinging like a Mack truck to the face.
That is such a massive win for the Philadelphia Fusion.
It is playoff time. Who will walk away as our Stage 2 champions?
Can you believe it?
One more.
New York Excelsior reverse sweep.
And that's beautiful. And the NYXL stand finally at the top.
This map could send the Philadelphia Fusion to the Overwatch League Grand Finals.
And this is a disaster for the NYXL.
That's it. That is it. Philadelphia Fusion is going to the Grand Finals.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just taking a look at the history between these two teams at the moment. Things not looking so good at the moment for Fusion, but historically, not so bad.
Yeah, you could see the record here between Fusion and Excelsior is closer than most of the league against Excelsior, given their extremely dominant performance. I mean, New York Excelsior has been the most consistent team in Overwatch League. They haven't been able to perform in high-pressure situations. They haven't been able to perform in playoffs. But it's matches like this one, the start of a stage where there are no nerves, there is no pressure, and they're not trying to play towards a new meta. They're not trying to develop a new strategy. They're just going to play, as long as they can, the same strategy they found success with in Stage 1.
Yeah, a couple flips coming through. The Tracer for Nene there on Paris. We also saw a lot of Ana coming out from Jonek, but nothing too shocking, whereas Fusion's been trying a lot of different stuff, really trying to get that bar in. And honestly, that one barrage on that defensive A, had it not been committed there, had he actually gotten some kills, maybe they could have held that off a little bit longer. And
Sure.
NY doesn't end up with a 5-minute, 17-second time bank. But just really rough tidings for them. They now find themselves down 0-2. NYXL on the cusp of being able to close this out with a 3-0. But we do have a substitution coming through. We'll go ahead and take a look. It's going to be Elk taken to the stage for Neptuno.
Coming in for Neptuno, a very interesting, sub here. Elk did play in stage 1, but as a sub for Boombox.
Yeah.
Boombox was ill. So now he gets to actually take the stage in his main role for the first time, and that's going to be exciting to watch. Anamo setting up a self-destruct early on as well. You know, these things are really important. The Lucio play, despite the nerfs to Lucio. Take a look at Eichenwald. It'll be the first Eichenwald of the season here. And this is a map where you could see, because of the map structure and how wide open it is, a lot of different things. And I think of the 4 maps we have listed for this particular match, this is the one where Batiste makes the most sense. He can utilize his exo boots to get onto high ground. He can, control the castle that way. And his amplification matrix, when he uses his ult, are really going to, give an opportunity to get massive damage done. When we're talking about this space here, the bridge leading to the gate here, the drawbridge as they call it. And this is a hybrid. We've changed the order. This is the 3rd map now, but it is going to be, it's called hybrid because you capture a point and then you push a payload. So it's a cross between escort and assault, essentially.
Here we go. Philly on the defense first, NYXL looking to kick things off, expecting these last second swaps to be coming through. Mono likely just going to be going for that scouting report again.
Yep.
He is pushing forward. He grappled up, but yeah, not too far. Yeah, right back into the main door.
You keep these snipers out for a little bit longer because if you see something, you see a target that you could pick off, sometimes you get a free kill and you get a nice cap on A just by default. And once you see that it's not realistic, you swap back to normal heroes.
Oh yeah, 4 energy, perfect. We'll have the next bubble up in 5 seconds, so it'll be all right. Pushing their way through, right up the right side here. Cutting their way in, NYXL looking for that wraparound approach, but now instead they find Sato up front. Oh, he messes up the leap, and that's gonna cost him his life. Taking down Libero. Gets that killing blow. He himself under some fire, going lower and lower, but looking like he'll be able to stay alive. NYXL, they rejoin together, operating as a unit, now pushing forward, aggressing onto Philadelphia Fusion, and Carpe will get caught up in the mess of things now. Elk also taken down. Welcome back to the stage. Long time no see. Back to the respawn room for you, but for NYXL, it's going to be a cap on A.
This is a great example of what Bren pointed out during halftime earlier. Sometimes it's the small mistakes, in this meta in particular, where there's less potential to carry fights 5v6, as an individual. When Sato misses the jump like that and dies, the point is won for Excelsior. It's a one small mistake like that, and as long as New York doesn't drop the ball right afterwards, that's the moment where they got an insane time bank, right? And it's just a small thing like that that can really get into your head as well. Moving into a street stage, you're like, well, now I've got to deal with this incredible team with a 5-minute time bank barreling down. They're not going to run Batiste here. They're not going to run any hit scan. Just sticking with the 3-3 Winston variation.
From this position, Carpe, in order to build up energy, it's really difficult. Will drop down. He finally pops the bubble, searches his way up to 56. Mono taking a bit of damage, still lobbing in these right clicks, but they haven't been able to finish him off yet, and it's going to be EQO actually as a casualty again. Eliminating him. Transcendence still going to be committed here onto the low ground. Boombox trying to keep everybody topped up. Sato going to get pinned, eliminated, and that will just be the cart continuing to roll here. NYXL pushing forward, trying to get some additional kills.
New York just knows how to push Mono to his limits. And in that moment where it looked like he might be picked there after Carpe got high energy, we saw an armor pack come up from Libero and he committed the rally. These two things keep Mono alive and force Philadelphia Fusion to retreat. They're already overextended, they're caught, and they get punished for it. Nana is still high energy here, they need to be careful of this.
Oh, yeah. Trying to go for the cheeky grab, instead going to be caught off guard. Bombs thrown out from either side, looking for the big offset, but Neko comes up with another triple kill. His second one of the series, I do believe. And that's just going to be the shutdown. Team wipe coming in. We're starting to push across the bridge already. NYXL just rolling through here, no problems whatsoever.
New York utilizing that choke point where they know they're going to get the most value. That is something like a self-destruct, and it is just going to be 2 team fight wins to 2 points.
Shadow coming out from Mono, trying to lock them out. Cart will be able to roll through nearly 5 minutes back onto the clock, and Jonak going to be able to find a kill here on Asado. Mono will be taken down, but Boombox now Elk going to be eliminated. Need I name more members of Philadelphia Fusion? It's pretty much everyone. Cart will roll into the castle, and NYXL are just looking great. Let's go ahead and take another look at this bomb, though.
Look at the distance in which he launches this as well. This showcases a good understanding of how D.Va's acceleration works with her bomb at mid-air.
And Pokos lands on the stairs, completely cut off from anyone.
You don't expect that D.Va bomb because you don't see where Meko is because he's too far away. That's long-range launching right there.
Sato jumping into the back, pops the Primal Rage, trying to cause some disruption here. Trying to finally stabilize and stop this card, but Poco gonna be taken down and eliminated instantly. The Baby D.Va not standing a chance. Another Transcendence gonna be up for Jonak. Armor expired, EQO swapping over onto the Batiste. Again, just trying to find a pick-off here, but with this setup, that amp field, even if you can build it in time, which you can't, it wouldn't do much.
Not gonna do much.
Push it through. They just boot back Poco, saying, nope, no tag for you.
This is one-sided Achilleos. I hate to say it, but we are looking down the barrel of potentially a 4-0 here. Our match of the week, New York took that card and ripped it up.
That they did, man. Philly, can they do anything? We'll find out when we come back in just a bit. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Coming back in for the second half of Eichenwald here. Philly Fusion, odds have been stacked against them seemingly since the beginning with Lijiang Tower, but now it's a 4-minute time bank on Eichenwald. NYXL, can they be stopped at all? The cart basically never halted.
They only won really 2 team fights, 2 straight-up team fights. The rest of it was just staggered kills on the Fusion. They get the point C there with basically no resistance. It's the second fastest Eichenwald attack in Overwatch League history. Boston holds the record currently. Taking a look at the defense here for the Excelsior, they're going to have a setup where Nene is going to be very difficult to kill. He's got a lot of protection. He has massive burst damage. I think they're expecting to see a Winston out of Sato, but it is the Reinhardt here, so this could backfire. Either way, the Fusion don't have a good way to deal with Libero's Pharah.
Well, Nene spanning the hammer here, trying to break down those Rhine barriers. Rolls over to the side, gets that reload, just trying to keep himself safe with his positioning. Probably taking a little bit of damage. That's kind of EQO actually cut off, taking some rockets from above. Libero nearly picking off that brig. Not going to be able to get the killing blow yet. Fusion make their way over onto the point. He's trying to push them back with Concussive Blast.
They got Nene.
That's going to be Nene taken down, as you say. Boombox looking to open things up. Now Mono going to be gone, so NYXL trying something different basically for the first time in this series, and it costs them dearly for point A.
Certainly does. The point of this composition for New York is to deal with the Winston comp with the McCree, and then if you've got the Pharah, even if they're running Reinhardt, could break the barrier as you mentioned, but basically they have to get so close to McCree that Pharah does massive damage and is unopposed in the air, but that huge play by Boombox to get that kill at range, they couldn't mitigate that damage. That's what gets them the point here. Libero still holds this barrage, and he's going to swap right after he uses this in the choke.
Hovering right above, sees that the defense matrix has been used, comes in. There's going to be a barrier right in front now that he matrix as well. Going to be used, and the fire strike will help take him down. They do manage to break through and get Sato, so still a winnable fight for the side of NYXL, but seems like they don't want anything to do with this, and Nene is stuck in a corner, stunned up, and should be taken down. Anamo goes forward, actually gets a really risky res onto Libero, so the Pharah is back into the fight, and NYXL have the cart halted for now.
Yeah,
this is playing on the low ground alone, he'll get knocked out.
This is a bit scrappy from the New York Excelsior. As you mentioned, they're doing something different for the first time in a long time, and we know Arc was always their Mercy player, you know, oftentimes, not every time in the past, but you know, we see the res come through, they try to buy time and try to flip that around, but it's not really going to work after the barrage comes down. Nice try there after seeing the cooldown on the defense matrix, as you pointed out, but we're going to see a swap now for the NYXL. We will see Mono diving in.
Yeah, just jumping his way through. High energy here for Carpe. Trying to burn him down, but the Primal Rage now going to be coming through. Jumps his way through. Grab going to be thrown in. Trying to lock him up, and Mono will be eliminated. Mecca with the bomb this time. Not going to be able to find anything. Philly Fusion just retreats down the staircase. Now trying to wake their way back over onto the cart to get things rolling across the bridge. Still holding on to 4 ultimates. The rally nearly coming online as well. So 5 about to be in the bank for Fusion. In a very good spot on this attack right now.
Yeah, you can see NYXL in scrappier fights where they don't have the perfect setup, do struggle oftentimes, and we are witnessing that now.
Well, Shatter going to be coming out. Sato again straight into the shield of Mono, so not going to be able to find anything. Grab comes through. QO going to be taken down now. Carpe eliminated the bomb from Poco, not going to find anything. They'll clean up the Baby Diva, and the cart will be halted 1.42 meters away from B. Philly Fusion in a decent spot, but all of those ultimates I was talking about, they're basically all gone.
Incredible, too, that during a self-destruct from Poco, one of the more self-destruct successful divas in this league, they were able to turn the fight. No fear from the tank line of NYXL. Mono gets the charge through, and they win a fight while there's a self-destruct sitting on top of them. Incredible team synergy here from one of our more consistent teams here. And now the Fusion, as you say, very few ults.
Starting to push their way through. It's going to be a sound barrier out from Elk to kick things off. They got a stun on the Mono, unable to find a punish. Junik as well, going low, but not being eliminated. The grab locks them all up. They finally managed to break down the enemy's Zenyatta. It's all they're finding so far, but as I say that, Anama will be taken down. Sato on the exchange, but Mecco popped out. Trying to get that remake coming through, might actually be able to do so, and does. And NYXL, they now have a hope to try to hold on to this cart here. Still just 1.87 meters away. Mono so dangerously low, but Carpe comes back in. Now he's got a Doomfist. Uppercut to the face. Now Nene taken down. This should be the cleanup here. Just got to get the finish on the Libero. The cart will be able to roll through. So 350 bumped up on the clock for Fusion.
That self-destruct from Mecco and the remake there shows that New York were not playing for the win here, not playing for the hold, but playing for the time bank. And they also were able to build a Graviton Surge in that extended fight. So they're just saying, look, if you finish C, that's okay. We're just going to have a massively better time bank than you. And they commit a lot of ultimates, but they trade the self-destruct for a grab now.
Shatter coming through, trying to go off the back of the uppercut, but unable to find anything again. Sato just hasn't really been his day for those Earth Shatters on the Reinhardt. Transcendence is matched on either side. Bomb gonna be thrown into the back. Poco looking for a pick. Everyone playing forward. Not gonna be able to find anyone, but the grab is there from Nene, and that will be the cleanup.
That's the grab they earned in that fight where they delayed Philadelphia Fusion in a fight that was always going to be a lost fight for New York. They were just fighting to touch the point and then be in a position where Philadelphia had to stand on the cart where Nene could get charge and then get an ultimate. He builds it, they use it, and now they're buying even further time here, a whole minute ahead, and they control the choke.
Pushing their way forward aggressively again. Bomb into the back. Boombox gonna be taken out. Mecco finds another pick. And this will just be the further cleanup here as we get ready to dip under 2.5 minutes remaining for the Philadelphia Fusion. Poco taken out, just trying to retreat. Jumps off the side there. We'll be able to get the reset coming through.
There's not a whole lot of hope right now if you're a Philadelphia Fusion fan. I mean, this is a choke control, one of the toughest chokes to breach in the game, especially in this meta. They don't have a grab to attack while Jonak does not have Transcendence. They're going to have to really push through slowly and try to build those ults, but it's always at risk of giving more to NYXL.
Rally out on either side. Anamo taking a lot of damage. Going to be holding on for dear life. Seems like he will be safe for now. Joining in behind the shields with the rest of his team. Shatter comes in. Sato not going to be able to block that one. The sound barrier will try to keep him alive, but the pin comes in from Mono. Takes him out of the fight, away from the rest of the Fusion squad. They find the kills, and now it's going to be another push forward here for NYXL.
Elk has the instinct as a Lucio player as all Lucio mains will, to hit that sound barrier perfectly to keep his teammates alive during the stun. But the trade-off here is there was no follow-up after that moment, and now he's missing a sound barrier. So even though it was a really well-timed sound barrier, when you think about saving teammates, it was only temporary. They still lost the fight. Now they're missing that crucial support ultimate.
Trying to work their way back through the choke here. 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock. Nene trying to build up the energy. Has the grab ready to go. 3 ults. Nearly 6 for NYXL, because we know how quickly a Reinhardt can build up for that Earth Shatter if he lands one nice fire strike. Grab going to be coming in, catches him again. Poco unable to deny. The bomb going to be dumped in, straight in on top. Sato trying to block that one. Will be able to do so successfully. Shatter coming through, locks down Nene, but again, it's going to be a sound barrier out from Manama to keep him alive, and Sato's going to be the first casualty in the fight. They try to get the responding Shatter from Mono. He gets stunned out of it, but it's still going to be 3 kills to the positive of the NYXL.
And this is the big winning moment, even in a fight that was basically mirrored. No one dies to Meko's self-destruct despite the setup there. The big winning moment is the sound barrier. It's missing for Elk. It's there for Anamo. When we rewind the clock, when we go back in time and look at Elk's previous sound barrier, he's going to wish he didn't use it then, because had he had it there, that would, if he used it later, they could have turned the fight. He's missing it. He's about to have it now, 30% away, but it's very late. Kilios, there's not a whole lot of time here.
Yep, the rally, the only thing they have to work with at the moment. It's going to be enough to get Libero taken down. Now Mono under fire as well. Will crumble under the pressure being applied. OT getting ready to come through. Good kills here for the Philadelphia Fusion. Still one final stretch to hit. They have to make it there in OT. NYXL still 4 minutes in that time bank, so still such an arduous task ahead of them for the Fusion if they can get the finish here. Rolling through, Shatter coming out. Sato throws it straight into the shield of Mono for the umpteenth time this series. He's not having too much luck there. Mono having his number, knowing the timings. Trying to stay alive, stun comes through, Libero taking lower and lower. They managed to finish him off. Transcendence is out from Jonak, keeping everybody else topped up.
Any more kills?
They're looking for it. The grab's gonna be coming through simultaneously on either side. Mono swings away, gets himself a double kill, and Meko picks up 2. Poco can't get anything. And that will be the hold. The OT part plummets. Eichenwald, the series go the way of NYXL.
Absolutely crushing it. Taking the series in dominant form here. I mean, scrappy fights or no, New York is going to win out in the end in a mirror meta where they have already found so much success. They're sticking with it, and they are making it happen. Achilles, very dominant performance there.
Yep, starting the stage off with a victory. Fusion, can they draw one map back in? We'll find out when we come back from Escort in just a few.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. NYXL, they clinched the series, but they're not done yet. One more map to be played. Can they get the perfect 4-0 start here in stage 2 for their first series? Or can Fusion upset them finally here and take something away?
You know, I mean, you could see EQO here is still in high spirits at the moment, but it would be ridiculous to predict that Philadelphia would bounce back after almost record-breaking time there on, you know, a map that you don't see finish that quickly very often, going into Eichenwald.
Yeah.
You know, the defense there, phenomenal for New York. Rialto is going to be another one of these maps that, you know, we're going to see 3-3 out of New York, probably both teams, and it's just the architecture of this map and the choke points and the, you know, narrow spaces that make it a playground for players like Meko, who have been setting up insane self-destruct. He had 6-0 in terms of the matchup versus Poco in terms of self-destruct kills. And, I mean, this is what he does best.
I mean, you and I casting a certain moment that happened when NYXL was on the stage.
On the
massive
map.
bomb shatter here on Rialto near that point A in the courtyard. So let's see if they can replicate that. Let's see. They can make it all the way here to point C. NYXL, though, they've been on such a tear in this series. I think not finishing the map seems unlikely. Fusion on the defense. No funny business. It's going to be the 3-3 with a Winston to kick things off. Meko going for a snipe here with this Widow. Takes an orb to the head, so we'll go ahead and peel back.
Yep. A swap over to the D.Va once again. This is going to be the Winston matchup, so a better matchup for Sato than normal here. Well, let's see. Meko's actually going to stick with this as everyone's playing so far forward for the Philadelphia Fusion. He's actually doing some extra damage. If he can get someone down to super low, Mono can suddenly come in and sweep up the kill. That's exactly what we're seeing him try to do here.
Yeah, jumping up, not quite finding Boombox, but Poco gonna get caught up, taken down. Kama with the right click, able to pop him out. And now the Baby D.Va gonna be finished off. A lot of damage through on a Libero. Shield bashing his way inside to stay safe. Sato playing very aggressively forward, but now gonna be rejoined with his squad. Give up this corner to NYXL, and just like that, Jonax like, look at all this space that I have. Comes out, snipes down 2 people. El and Sato both gonna be eliminated. Now Boombox and Carpe, he kills himself off with a right click.
Meko has to be credited here for this because he was able to identify with NYXL how far forward Philadelphia Fusion was standing, and you're always going to get free shots against tanks that are super easy to hit with Widow when the Fusion are standing in a place like that. That leaves opportunities to DMAC Poco, and that's going to just be one of these one-team fight wins. That's one checkpoint for NYXL.
Yep, now going to be finding it out on the bridge, much like we saw on Eichenwald. Picking very low there is Sato. Primal Rage going to be coming through. Have to be careful because of the canals here. If they get knocked in, that's a good night for the members of NYXL, but so far Sato hasn't been able to juggle anybody into the water, so not going to be able to find any kills there, but still playing very aggressively forward at the card. The grab going to come down solo onto him. Boombox tries to save his life. It's not going to work out. Still managed to find the kill here onto the enemy Winston. The cart still contested, while taking lower and lower. They commit a lot to this. Sound barrier gone, Transcendence gone. The cart keeps advancing.
He's going in.
Yep, EQO going to be taken down. Carpe now pushed in, and that's just going to be the cart advancing even further. So the aggression coming through from Fusion, good to see, but it does cost them a lot.
The big contesting points on Rialto are the bridge that we just saw them cross. That's why they committed so many ults. And then now coming around this corner, it's going to be the high ground that Philadelphia Fusion want to operate around. Carpe has the grab versus no grab for Nene, so they really need to make this their Alamo. The problem is with the stagger respawns here, they're not even on it yet. They're just barely going to get up here on time, but knocked off.
Yeah, pushing them way into the back. Rally still going to be rolling as EQO tries to stay alive so far. Not taking too much damage, but Mono on the other side barely managing to stay alive. He's still taking a little bit, they're chipping away at him, but it seems like he will be safe for now. Would have been a very nice kill and deny any re-aggression from the NYXL, but he does hold on by a thread.
You know, if you got 1 HP, you're not dead, and NYXL are so good at making sure that Mono survives, almost baiting people in, pulling them in, taunting them with this low health bar.
Well, grab going to be coming through. Transcendence is out from Janak. Bomb going to be thrown in. Poco looking for the pickoffs here, but again, not going to come up with much. Looking for that pin. Mono not going to be able to lead to a kill. Fusion still just trying to play around the staircase here. NYXL trying to disrupt them. Carpe taking a lot of damage. Pops the bubble, trying to stay alive, and now just looking for a chance to poop them off. NYXL, though, they advance forward. They push right up into their base. Meko, it's knocked out, but has the bomb to get his way back in. That's going to be the sound barrier out from Elk, but dead instantly as soon as he drops the beat. Nene scoops up a double. That'll be the cleanup, and this will be B going the way of NYXL. Just shy of 3 minutes here at the moment. Jonek showing off his accuracy, snipes him out of the sky, and now they will go ahead and work their way up to 4 minutes and 15 seconds for the final stretch of Rialto.
And not even for one moment did Philadelphia hold that high ground. They got caught, they got knocked off there by Meko, and then, you know, Nene is just going to have the advantage of the Zarya there. That's where you really want to eat up the clock, is around this corner, where you're going to have, you know, what you want ideally is multiple defenses here. Even down on ultimates, you can make it happen if you can control that point, but they did not. And this is a really rough spot now for the Fusion.
Yep, surging up with that energy here is Nene. Trying to find a target that doesn't have a shield, so he can actually get that grab online.
They're going to completely flank this.
Yep, going here for the wraparound again. Mono taking a lot of damage. Bubble coming in right in time here for Nene to try to keep him alive. EQ now pushing forward. Rally's going to be out, but he's going to get picked. Namo comes up with the kill, grab coming through. Catches Carpe, pin coming out. Mono taking somebody for a ride. It's going to be Sato. Picks him low, can't finish him off because the Transcendence from Boombox is enough to keep him in the fight. But for how long? Not very. Jonek comes up with a kill here to answer, has a Transcendence online. They have a sound barrier as well. NYXL, pretty much anything and everything that they need waiting here in their back pocket to try to get the finish here on Rialto. Still 3 minutes on the clock, starting to advance again. Immortality Field gone. Poco and Carpe both going to be eliminated. They halted for a moment, around 5 meters away. Now 1 even here. Elk doing what he can to stay alive. It's working a treat for him so far. Another Immortality Field instantly focused down. Libero takes that one out. It leads immediately to 2 kills onto the support line. Boombox has to pop the Transcendence desperately to try to keep things rolling through. And Poco's over onto the Wrecking Ball. Grab comes through over onto the side. Bomb going to be thrown down. Not going to find any picks from Meko, but he gets back into the suit, and the cart will advance.
Very well played here by New York. You don't see time banks like this one every day. Very successful push. They knew their win conditions around both the bridge and that high ground. They took control of the high ground, and they just had an ult advantage pushing into C. And it's just such a lead they now stand with here. You have to imagine, against the Fusion with 2 minutes and 31 seconds on the clock for the finish. And it's not to say that Fusion have been playing poorly today, or that they're really losing out because they're experimenting with Batiste a little bit more, because they haven't really outside of control. We're just seeing, you know, what you would have expected to see in this matchup in regular season in stage 1 of the 2019 season. And when you look at how these fights are going for New York, you're seeing incredible mechanical skill from the tank line, as always we do see from Mono and Meko, especially on this map. But you're also just seeing them take fights and commit ultimates around those really critical points, you know, and it looked silly for Meko to commit self-destruct, for example, right here on this bridge, and all the ults they use for New York. You're thinking, don't they want to save those for the next point for contesting B? But the reality is controlling that bridge is far more important because of all the environmental kill potential you were talking about. We saw Sato commit the Primal Rage. That's the scariest part. Now we're going to see this Bastion variation with Batiste. So previously when Philadelphia used this on Paris, it was with no Batiste. It's going to be Jonek's first Batiste game career. This is the bunker we're talking about, right? And the immortality effect here is so much stronger for Bastion because you can't easily, especially with a tank composition, destroy that immortality field at range. So it's so tough to actually kill this. Philadelphia will have to swap composition, and they do. Okay. The Pharah is the best answer in this open space.
A lot of different swaps coming through, really trying to figure out exactly what they want to roll with. Rolling will be a Wrecking Ball here for Sato. Try to go in, get that pile driver, knock them off. If he can be swinging around effectively enough. Jonek just looking for an angle here. Already peeled back. They're going to be surrendering the high ground, but instead just play around the corner.
Yeah, they don't want to give too much ult charge, especially to Carpe, because that's the one thing that can really wreck this is actually a Dragon Strike. There's no real answer to that.
If he can get shots in. Nene.
That's why Nene is tracking him, because he knows the Hanzo in particular is the scariest part of this.
EQ. Body shot coming through. Ooh, Nene nearly getting clipped right there in the head by that arrow. Would have been a huge pickup here for the side of the Philly Fusion. Nene still under some pressure, but now Elk going to be taken down. Jonek finds his first kill on Batiste. Immortality Field helping to keep Libero alive, and that'll just be a bit of cleanup work coming through for the side of NYXL.
That might be the first Immortality Field we've seen expire by time in
this series. Down.
Yeah. So The amplification matrix here is going to make both Nene and Libero godlike in terms of damage output if it's placed correctly. It's going to be up in 25% here. Very terrifying for the Fusion. To fight against that is nigh impossible. And they're not even running a Diva to mitigate the damage. So this next fight with that amplification matrix up, which is going to double the damage, is going to be so difficult for Fusion to win.
Oh, Boombox. He booked his head out too far. Meko, he's got the rockets. Not sure what he was thinking playing up that far.
I mean, you can get a bunch of damage with a surprise right click, but I mean, at huge risk, and you're really relying on your opponent not scouting you out. And, well, as you say, he poked his head out too far.
Yeah.
Matrix is up here. Oh, no.
You hate to see it. Actually, you don't. You actually really love to see it. Carpe going on the offensive, but there's backup for Nene. And Meko just going to be taking down another one while Jonak continues to hold down left click. He's like, this is great. I can heal myself, and I still output as much damage as Zenyatta.
Nene uses his ult here, and that's going to give them information about the comp swaps. It's going to give them information about the approach angle. And it's also going to allow Nene to always have line of sight advantage for the next few seconds here versus Carpe is trying to reposition against him. And also trying to eliminate EQO. Look at the Dragon Strike percentage here. Only 40. He's been tracking him. He hasn't been able to build that ult that's so critical at breaking a bunker composition like this.
Poco is trying to get that EMP. Desperately needs it. The Halt to deny the roll there. Sato takes a lot of damage. Libero finally gets the configuration tank online. And now just bides his time, waiting for his moment. Sato's into the back, trying to
Here's the Matrix.
harass Nene. Yeah, that's going to be the amp field coming through. EMP, going to get rid of it, though. Dragon Strike in from behind. Libero just pushes his way over to the corner. Just managing to stay alive, but now Jonak going to be taken down, as is Nene. The res comes through, and Amo putting the Widowmaker back into the fight. Libero will get cut down. EQO in that back angle snipes him out. Philly Fusion finally breaking this defensive line from the NYXL, but it's with 35 seconds left as they get ready to roll into A.
It would be huge if they could get Libero into position to use configuration tank, but there's just no way to tag onto the point quickly enough, so they're just going to swap composition completely. Nene may be able to touch this, but it's probably best to just let this go.
Great headshot there from Carpe. Mono going to be taken down, really leading to that here. Jonak as well popped up, will be eliminated, so it seems like A nearly guaranteed for the side of Philly Fusion as Carpe continues to put members of NYXL in the grave. Cleanup coming through, just trying to force out that OT. Libero will finally get finished off. They rolled through 2.5 minutes on the clock for Philadelphia Fusion.
Sato's had enough of this. He's coming for you, Jonak.
He's looking for the kill, but the Bionade will help keep him alive. Sato, oh man, sliver of HP. We're down to single-digit territory. Pocket finally comes in, and Elk will be able to keep that hamster alive.
Well, the one thing that New York loses from taking that last second contest is the ult charge they would have been building. And now we're looking at an EMP push again here to get this high ground control. Remember, this is the point where New York is standing right now. That's the toughest to contest on this map. The EMP could certainly open that up right now.
Nano thrown in on Mono. Gotta keep him alive. EMP gonna be rolling through. Catches 2 members on the side of NYXL. But still not finding the kills yet, despite the fact that Jonak and Mono are just been at below half HP this entire time. They will finally be able to get the enemy Winston.
New York backed off and held their high ground here, but unfortunately Mono is still caught.
Oh,
huge sleep.
Great sleep dart coming through. So gets a pile drive in onto Nene, but not going to be nearly as huge as you would like. And Poco just going to get picked up by the bomb from Meko.
EQO hits the Dragon Strike, but it's too late.
Well, maybe not. They do have the res.
They do have the res.
They do put him back through, so the cart's starting to inch forward again. QO playing very far forward, dropping down into the bubble, just trying to get the hits here on a Mono. Sees that he's got that Discord orb. They will be able to finish him off, but it's at the cost of Elk's life.
They can't get this high ground. They need it.
Libero going lower and lower. The Storm Arrows weakening him, but will be able to stay in the mix, and Meko comes back and finds a kill on a Poco again, this time without a bomb.
This is one of these fights where it really showcases what I was talking about earlier. They're shooting upwards. They don't have vision of where everyone on New York is standing. EQO can't hit his Storm Arrows consistently outside of hitting Mono. And you're seeing this fight where they're quite literally fighting an uphill battle. New York has this massive advantage because they're able to consistently do damage, consistently identify where everyone is standing. Overwatch is a game of limited vision, and you're fighting in a 3D sphere, so New York has that massive advantage up there.
Well, here comes that primal range. Mono nearly going for a dip himself. Would have been a massive waste of the ultimate. Instead, trying to get a corner angle onto Carpe or Elk. He's unable to find it. Takes a little bit of damage, so just hops over to safety. But have to get back to the cart right now, do the fusion, 15 seconds remaining.
The late swaps here mean it's tough to get a grab. This has to be a miracle fight for Philly.
Look at this. Best here to try to turn this one around, but Boombox instantly going to be stomped out. Mono finds the hit. Sound barrier now through for good measure from Anamo. Jonak still going to be traded out, but no one gets over to the cart. They cannot continue pushing, and NYXL will be able to take their first series of Stage 2 with a 4-0 victory.
Gotta know your win conditions. You've got to know which points to defend, which points to use your ultimates. And Philadelphia Fusion, try as they might, try to use this Hanzo, try to get the Dragon Strike up to break that high ground, but it's too late from EQO. They get the kills, they get the res, as you mentioned, but it's these moments where you really just need to solidify that position. And they were so close yet so far. And New York, they're just going to stand up there and they are going to do what they do best. 3-3, Nene on the Zarya. You know, after that moment with the grab, the missed grab in the playoffs, you know, a lot of people were wondering, will he be able to keep his emotions in check heading into a stage after a moment like that? But he certainly is. And a very dominant performance here from New York. We saw some Batiste, we saw some Roadhog, we saw Widow. But at the same time, it is 3-3 that prevails. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though, for this stage, because this is New York Excelsior. This is what they do. We've still got 3 matches left today.
And there's still playoffs at the end of the stage. Who knows what happens for these guys? But let's go ahead and throw down to Danny Lim, who's standing by with Nene on the floor.
Wolfenoculios, thank you very much. What is up, everybody? I am here with Nene from NYXL. Yeah! Clean sweep. Great series, 4-0. Now, you know, today marks the beginning of Stage 2 with the new meta, new characters, new heroes, I mean, and new maps and everything. But I want to ask you, what did you do during the break? Did you guys usually just practice, or did you guys have some time off? Did you guys go out to, you know, just have some fun? What did you do? 자, 방학 동안, 이제 쉬는 기간 동안 좀 넨네 선수가 뭐 했는지 좀 궁금해요. 앞으로도 이제 또 오늘이 또 스테이지 2의 첫날이기도 하고, 네, 어떻게 좀 즐기셨나요?
일단 저만 얘기하면 일단 저는 그 휴식 기간에 일단 칼을 갈고 오버워치만 연습 많이 했고요. 그래서 휴식이 없었던 것 같아요. 그래서 지금 스테이지 2 열심히 연습 많이 하고 있습니다.
As for me, I just want to say, during the break, I really just sat down and just practiced Overwatch, getting ready for Stage 2, and I am fully ready for Stage 2, so that's what I did. Is that usually just because, was it, I mean, you just said that you didn't really have time for a break and just stuck by and just practiced. Was that because of the Stage 1 playoffs? Did that come into a factor? 아무래도 좀 아까 방금 쉬는 시간이 아무것도 없었다고 하셨는데 네 선수가 네 선수가 보셨을 때 어떻게 좀 그게 스테이지 1 그 플레이오프에서 좀 아쉽게 탈락을 해서 좀 그런 게 있나요?
네, 일단 그 스테이지 1 플레이오프에서 마지막 한타에서 저의 치명적인 실수 때문에 그게 좀 충격을 먹어서 제가 그래서 더 열심히 연습하고 있습니다.
That is true. I actually took more time to practice just because I felt like in Stage 1 playoffs against Seoul Dynasty, we lost because of my big mistake that I made. So that's why I just, during the break, I just practiced and that's all I did. All right, and talking about Stage 1 playoffs, you guys, you know, lost. It was a surprising defeat against the Seoul Dynasty. Because of that, did you guys come in today, you know, sort of looking for a redemption? 오늘 아무래도 이제 방금 프로브를 얘기를 했는데 그거에서 좀 어떻게 패배 때문에 오늘 좀 들어와서 좀 복수의 칼을 갈고 좀 열심히 한 것 같나요, 오늘 경기?
일단 오늘 경기 같은 경우는 뭐 일단 저번 시즌 플레이오프에서 뉴욕이 필라델피아한테 졌기도 하고 마지막 경기에서 근데 물론 제가 없었지만 그때는 그것도 이제 어느 정도 영향이 있어서 오늘 필라델피아는 꼭 이겨야겠다고 마음 먹고 열심히 칼을 갈았습니다.
It is, in fact, true. We did practice a lot. And also because our team, when I wasn't here last season for the grand final playoffs, we unfortunately lost to Philadelphia Fusion. So that is why we practiced and we played hard today. Thank you very much, everybody. Give it for Nene one more time. Back to you guys, Wolfenoculios.
Thank you very much, Danny. Good to hear from Nene. Good to hear that they're practicing. I think they now take the record, the 3-5 for Philadelphia Fusion against NYXL. So adding another loss there on the back end. Let's figure out who our player of the match is. Of course, presented by Omen by HP. Who's it going to be? Anticipation. Oh, it's going to be Meko.
It's going to be Meko. With all the self-destruct kills he had, I mean, the guy set up so many good team fights as well. As protection was stellar. This is one of those fights where Self-Destruct breaks everything open. This is another one here on Eichenwald. Long range, while, you know, Poco is sending his out as well. Gets caught in the blast. Just having such good understanding of where to place these mechs. It's not just him. Obviously, his team sets up a lot of these, but he makes it count when the opportunity is given.
17 self-destruct kills throughout the series. Fantastically done from him. Got that big deny on Paris as well, getting rid of the enemy Graviton Surge. So Carpe just kind of throwing that one straight into his face and nommed it up. Very nicely done by Meko. And